Hello everyone. I'm Shreyan Singh from Triple E Department. Together with me, I have Saubhagya Gupta and Waziuddin Ashraf from Triple E Department. So, as a part of our experiential learning topic of principle of economics and management, we are taking this interview. With us, we have Suvrat Gupta, who is from American Express. Suvrat, can you please explain, can you please introduce about yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi, this is Subrat Gupta. Talking about me, let's start from an educational background. I did my engineering from BITS Pilani, post which I have done my MBA from FMS Delhi. And like post FMS, I grabbed a placement in EXL as a consultant. In consultant, I had experiences managing different clients at different times and foregoing different industries as a whole. At the end of 1 year and 1.5 year, I found out that an analyst role and delving into a role which is much more strategy based and much more based with numbers as well would be a good turn for me. So it was when I joined American Express, as you say. So right now I'm working with American Express as a credit risk analyst, and my team works especially with the FRP division. FRP is basically financial relief program
Yeah.
for small businesses and corporate clients.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah.
we just wanted to know like how was your experience of onboarding and how is your current experience going on of being a credit risk analyst at MX?
So onboarding, do you mean like the interview process and
No, no,
everything, or
no.
like post
Like
interview, like the
post
onboarding what
interview when
went?
you entered Amex and how was the culture and how are people over there, something like that.
Okay, sure. So the onboarding was really great. Like first of all, like post the interviews, like many companies don't. Like, the first thing that I much more liked about this was that most companies don't, email the candidate regularly, email or like send notifications that there are 4 days remaining, 3 days remaining to join and everything. This is your roster and this is your things that you need to, carry on or you need to gather around. Like post the days at a regular reminder kind of basis. This was really cool. Apart from this, on the day of onboarding, it was kept really short. It was kept really crisp. So the first thing that we went through was going through the new campus. So
Yeah.
basically, the Gurgaon campus for American Express is a new one. It has recently been opened, and it has become a one stop office for whole of the NCR region now. So
Yeah.
the first thing was a tour of the same. The second were a breakfast kind of thing and just showing the amenities that were there. Then there were sessions, the HR sessions that went on
Yeah.
the guidelines that there are and then meetings with the team as what happens on the first day, right?
Yeah.
So this is how the onboarding went on.
Yeah. So, Surat, can you please explain more about your job, that what you actually do as a credit risk analyst?
Sure. So my job accompanies 3 or 4 different tasks, you can say. So my job starts, from a problem statement that there is as I said, in the FRP team that there is. I can explain to you what our exact division and what our team exactly does post this, right?
Yeah.
So first there's a problem statement that what if something wrong is happening or if we need to change or we need to upgrade or we need to scale something up. So a problem statement is there, according to which we have to we make a plan as to what data we have to fetch, what all tables would be needed, what all requirements would be there. Then goes the coding part of it. The SQL and Python are like brought in, and codes are run so that we get the exact data, and those data is pulled apart. After pulling the data that we want, we have to analyze it. We have to see it. So for that, different tools like obviously Excel, Power BI, etc. These are used
Yeah.
so that we have a clear visual as to what is going on, so what we need to see. What basically the data analysis part of the job, right?
Yeah.
Post which is again the presenting of it, the deck making, the presenting, strategizing, and meeting our everyday works that we go on to.
Yeah, it sounds great.
So yeah.
So, can you tell me about a time when you had some difficult situation with some limited information? So, how did you deal with it, and what are your some go-to strategies to deal with such situations?
Sure. So one thing that was really different for me when I joined this company from the past, from my past job role, was coming from consultant to an analyst entails that you don't know anything about coding, right? Or a minimal
Yeah.
amount of coding knowledge that I had in my from my engineering times, basically.
Yes.
Right. So that shift was a little uncomfortable. Not to say tough, but a little uncomfortable would be a word that I would like to say. And this is how I plan on going on things, as you asked, as to how I unfolded, or how I escaped what the toughness or the difficulty was ahead of me. So basically I didn't think about it that much, that it is a weakness or kind of thing. I knew that after the coding and etc. would be needed till the data pulling part, and I could easily learn it in the long run in a 1 month or 2 month prior basis. So it is now, I'm really hands on right now, so it's going great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just like to ask, like, how does this your work affect the customers, like customers of MX and all? Like, is there any direct connection or what?
Not direct connection from my team exactly, but how the customers are affected by us is we make strategies for them, right?
Okay.
So what exactly happens is that there are n number of customers from a geography. So my geography that I'm working in right now is the US market, and let's say for example there are a million customers there, right? So I just have to analyze what is going on with these accounts. There are different parameters. There are different filters that I have to put on, like the geographies, their account details, the balances that they are having, the credits that they are
Yeah.
having, the FICO score, which is basically the CIBIL score, etc.
Yeah.
Right. So it is not directly one to one relationship. It is basically a many to one relationship from our team. If that answers your question.
So, as an analyst, I may assume that you may have a situation where your analysis may be challenged by a stakeholder. So, how do you respond with that challenge?
I mean, that is fairly not it is something that happens, once in a while. It is on and on off process of the part of being an analyst, right? There first part of it is you make an hypothesis, you go about that hypothesis, you chase around with the data, and then if the data also tells you that, and the effect that is going on, then yes, your hypothesis is correct, or else you have to try it another way. So it is an on and off part. Many a times it is there that I must be missing a variable, or a missing maybe a filter or something, due to which the data that I would have been getting was a little skewed. And the manager and like a team and the manager, the stakeholder that you're talking about, can just pull in, and it is how the process goes in this work. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So being in Amex, many people have a premonition or something like that, that you must be having some credit card which is like having a bomb of credit or something like that. So does your company provide that, or you have to take some experience in your company to get that opportunity or something like that?
So it totally depends on what role you are joining the company in, right? So as analyst, we don't have frequent client visits or frequent
Yeah.
expenditures of going about or travel or any stays kind of things, right? So these kind of like us especially wouldn't be getting a card. Apart from this, the employees that would have an ad hoc, of going regularly, of having a visit, or those kind of job roles, like sales people do it, and other divisions would be doing that. Those get the corporate cards that you were talking about. Apart from that, the benefit that we would be getting on the cards would be that if we have to get a card, then they are at a discounted price than what the normal people get if we want to. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so like, can you explain like how the changes like in monetary policies, like some budget came and something came, like your salary got upgraded, something like that, any interest rate, something, any interest rate adjustment and all. Like, how does it affect our credit risk or credit score exactly?
That must be uh, affecting the credit score and the intakes of our customers and everything, because you see, uh, I would be answering your questions in two parts in here. So first, that there are two major aspects of where we have to focus on what the customer is in the credit risk arena. So first is when we are onboarding the customer. That is when we have to see what the last history, what the transaction history has been. what kind of a customer in general they have been, what all the collaterals, all the loans, their FICO scores, and what all parameters that you can think about in this arena, right? And once when they are making a default and they're entering into the FRP, as in the actual team that I was talking about, that I'm a part of, at that junction we also what happens is that once they are making a default in simpler terms would mean that they are not paying their bills, right? So if there are multiple not non-payments made, then we ask the customer, like our team, there are some telemarketer people as well. So they reach out, they ask the customer if there is a difficulty or what is exactly going on, why they are not paying that. And if they it's just the case that they are not able to pay it right now, but they would be paying it in future, then we enroll them into FRP. But apart from that, if there is any other case, like they must be doing a fraud, they must be running away after paying something, or those kind of things also happen in credit card business many a times. So for those customers, there's a different thing that like a different process that goes on. And for FRP, as I said, that apart from these parameters, other things are also looked at. That what if we put them into the program, would they be able to pay for the next year or the next 2 years, or what kind of customer they have been after getting an Amex card. So pre transaction history and post transaction histories, these are very major things that we look at. So yeah.
So coming on to the last question, how do you handle situations where you need to deliver bad news, such as negative credit decisions to a client?
Sorry, can you repeat that
Like
question?
there might be some situation where you have to deliver some bad news to a client regarding the negative credit decisions and all.
So I don't have to directly go about and talking to a client. As I said, that I'm just talking about. I just analyze on the pool of the client that there is. How it is affecting our revenue, how it is affecting the program in itself, is what my work entails.
Yeah.
So it works like your credit risk assessment directly goes to the company, and it matters to the overall business strategy of the company, right?
Yes, yes.
Not
The
directly to
FRP
the
program
customer.
is basically handled by our team. So we analyze up on and off about how to make it better and better for the customer and better for our company as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Fine.
I guess
I
this
guess
is
we're done.
the
Yeah.
last question, and thank you so much for your time. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
bye.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much.
Sure.